The next few months are going to be absolutely crazy with pretty much every kid across the country rushing to take the SAT and ACT. I know where I live, everything is all booked up through October. So that means if you're lucky, you'll only have 1 or 2 chances to take a test. No pressure, right? Now, I was lucky enough to get in to take the December SAT, where I ended up getting a 1530, which was an 800 math, and a 730 reading score. And I honestly was planning on retaking it before COVID hit, and then after COVID hit, like, I'm just not retaking it anymore, long story short. After pretty much 5 months of like no school, I don't think my brain could even handle a standardized test. So big props to you guys out there who are still taking it. But basically in this video, I just want to help out as many people as I can, because I know a bunch of people are just freaking out, scrambling to get in a good SAT score to send to colleges. In this video, basically I'm just going to share exactly what I did to get a 1530, and I think the title of this video is going to be like how to get 1500 plus. Because that is a benchmark that a lot of people are looking to earn, and a lot of colleges also see that as the benchmark of like what a really good score is. Now, I'm not a teacher or anything. I've never tutored anyone in this, so I'm not gonna be like teaching anything really, but I'm gonna be showing you guys exactly the study plan that I did step by step to score a 1530. I also know a lot of people actually who are taking both the SAT and the ACT for the first time. And honestly, if I had never taken a test before, I would probably just stick with one test so then you can super score it. Because if you have 2 separate scores for SAT and ACT, sure, one of them might be slightly better. But in my opinion, I think it's better to just focus on one test for now. Now, if you're like a lot of high school students, one of the only standardized tests you've ever taken is the PSAT. And I know a lot of people, including mine, PSAT scores, they're not super proud of, so then you might be like, oh, the SAT is not for me. But I'll just share a quick personal story about standardized testing. So I took the 8th and 9th grade PSATs, and I was just like every other kid. I didn't study for them. I just, I was like, oh, this answer seems fine. Didn't really put too much thought into it. But then sophomore year, the PSAT was like a couple weeks after I toured Vanderbilt. And I was like, oh my gosh, like you need these insane scores to get into colleges. So I started studying for that PSAT. I studied only like 3 hours, and it increased my score 240 points. So really, I mean, it's not like I became so much smarter between freshman year and sophomore year, but really just studying and getting to know like how the test makers are thinking and what they're looking for in each question can help increase your score a ton. So if your PSAT score isn't super great, then definitely don't worry about it, because you can still perform well on the SAT. Now for my studying plan, I just self-studied it. I didn't have a tutor or anything, and I really only used 3 materials: an SAT prep book, a pen, and just a random piece of paper to score my practice test. And I used both of these practice books. I would say I prefer the College Board one better, and if you're like, oh my gosh, these books are gigantic, like that must be so expensive. First of all, I got both of these for free from one of my mom's friends whose daughter, I guess, like she just finished her last standardized test, so they just gave them to me for free, which is super awesome. Thank you for that. I just looked this up on Amazon. You can get the newest copy of this. This is 2018. I don't know what difference it makes, but it's $15 on Amazon for 8 full-length practice tests, which is definitely a lot cheaper than a tutor. All right, so now into my actual study plan. I didn't start studying until a week before the test day, so I think like Saturday afternoon, a week before the test day, is when I sat down and did my first practice test, which I would definitely not recommend. And I really don't have any excuse, because the week before that was Thanksgiving break, so I had so much free time, but I just couldn't be bothered with SAT prep then, I guess. And it was also 2 weeks before finals, so kind of a stressful time. All right, and now for everything I did to get 1530, 1500 plus. Basically, I just took 3 practice tests. I think it was probably like 1 from this official SAT book and like 1 from the Princeton book. Again, I preferred the SATs and the College Board one better, because the Princeton ones were kind of weird, and also these are like actual SATs, so I feel like they're the best thing to use to see what you can expect on the actual test. Just a side note, I know a lot of people use Khan Academy. I personally have never used Khan Academy. I think I like set up an account, but I never used it. And that's just because I personally don't really like using, I guess I feel like I think better when I'm using a paper and pencil, and also like, I don't know, I feel like a computer, my brain just like goes crazy and they're like, look up this YouTube video, check your email, and like everything like that. but I feel like I just think better with paper and pencil, and also the actual test format is paper and pencil, so I think it's nice getting used to that format and beneficial for when you actually take the test. Obviously, if you like Khan Academy and that's what's working for you, then go for it, but I personally did not use any like online test prep. And guys, this is the position that I did every single practice test in. I was literally just laying on the floor in my bedroom, like filling this out. Basically what I did is I just had a pencil. I was like marking it up on this book here. And what I did to make sure the timing was all good is I would just look at my watch and write down like, oh, I started this at 4:33 and then ended at 4:32. And then I did that for every single section, like the reading, writing, every single, I guess, like subsection. And then at the end, I just added up all those times to make sure that they were roughly the number of minutes that I would have on the actual test. By no means did I do all of these in one sitting. I probably did maybe like 2 or 3 articles at a time during the reading sections. And then the math sections, I was able to power through and kind of do all those in one sitting. Like I would do the non-calculator portion, take a little break, and then do the calculator portion. But I don't know if this is just me, but I feel like the reading sections on the SAT are so hard. Like I've never like walked away feeling good about a reading section. So then I would complete one practice test over the course of probably 1 day if it was the weekend, and then 2 days if it was the school day. I want to say I did 1.5 during the weekend and then 1.5 during the school week. But again, I didn't put too much pressure on myself for like timing and doing it all in one sitting. But if you are someone that struggles with, I guess, like attention and focusing issues, then it probably would be good to do those all in one sitting, just because like a 3.5 hour test early in the morning can definitely be a struggle. And honestly, I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I did weirdly kind of enjoy taking these practice tests and like grading them and seeing how I did on them. All right, and now I just mentioned grading. Let's talk about grading. So this is the exact note card. This is the culmination of a week of my life and 10 hours of studying and 3 SAT practice tests. These are the scores I got on all them: 1560, 1480, 1550, which weirdly enough average out to 1530, which is my actual score. Honestly, not sure what happened on the 1480 attempt. But basically what I did is I would complete the whole test again over multiple sittings, and then I would just grade it all in one go, because the grading part was fun for me. I was like, dang, I gotta see what I got wrong, what I can improve on. And as I was taking the test, actually, if there was a question that I thought was really hard that I wasn't sure the answer to, I would like mark it in the test book to see whether or not I got it right, because then if I got it right, I would still go over it to kind of reinforce, I guess, what I did correctly on that one. So I would write down the problem number of the ones that I got wrong and then go over them, make sure I understood them. You can see like on the math one, I even would like redo the problems to really understand the principles behind it, so that if there's a similar problem on that shows up on the actual test or another practice test, then I'll get it right that time. And all the practice tests and everything have scoring guidelines, so you can super easily calculate your score. And I also thought it was kind of interesting learning about how they're scored. All right, now let's get to the actual test day. So first off, the night before the test, I probably only did like 5 or 6 practice problems, just because I want my brain to be like relaxed and rested up. And then, you know, get your 9 or 8 hours of sleep, whatever you want. And then what I did testing morning, which I think is really key, is you gotta get your mind optimized and in the right place to perform well on these tests. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I always go on my phone when I wake up. Like, I'll just sit in bed for 30 minutes, especially during quarantine. It's been so bad. But, you know, I'll just be like scrolling Instagram, and whenever I do that, it just makes my brain feel like super foggy and like I'm not in tip-top mental shape to take on the day. So what I do on test mornings, I do this for the PSAT, I did this for the SAT, is I literally just don't touch my phone at all. Like, I have it powered off. I use a separate alarm clock, so I don't even look at it then. And I don't talk to anyone. I don't talk to my family, just because in case it makes me lose focus, which could be kind of overkill. I mean, I know a lot of people don't do this and they end up fine. And then for breakfast, I think before my SAT, I had some oatmeal, but it was really sugary. I would not recommend having something super sugary. I think probably a bagel and cream cheese will be fine, whatever you want. And then yeah, I just drove to the testing site, no music in my car. Like, I was just focusing in on my thoughts and getting ready to take on the day. Again, this is just my plan. This is what works for me to get a 1530. And I know some of you guys probably have higher goals than a 1530. But a 1500 plus honestly is a solid score. I know some people that have been studying for like 6 months all throughout this quarantine just for one test day. And if you want to do that, props to you. But I honestly don't think 6 months of studying for 3-hour tests is completely necessary. I think like a month and a half is really all you need to be primed for test day. If you guys have any more questions about the SAT, comment them down below and I'll try my best to answer every single comment. And thank you guys for watching. Again, these are just my tips. If you're working with a tutor or anything, listen to them because I am by no means an SAT professional. I'll probably be making more videos as the college app process comes in closer, and I'm definitely going to be making one of those college decision reaction videos, so be sure to subscribe if that type of content interests you, and I'll see you guys in my next video.